I guarantee you right now, there's a 14-year-old Aboriginal kid that's taken his first drink alcohol. He's sucking on his first joint. He's gonna maybe go into cocaine. He's gonna do something. And he's on his way to prison. That's his roadmap. If you save that kid, if you show that kid there's a better future out there, get him into a trade or get him to a course or show him a work site and show him there's a better future in terms of getting a house, a job, going on vacation, buying a truck, you've done your job. I guarantee you those activists and those politicians that are going to stop the development in your territory, they do not care about that 14-year-old kid. They do not care. They could care less.
So that is a very powerful message from Ellis Brock, and that's the kind of voice that the media is just not showing. They're not showing these voices of people in the First Nations community that have had enough with the protesters, had enough with the fringe far left, environmentalists who have just taken the entire system hostage, made us all into pawns, made it seem like they speak for all Aboriginals and all First Nations people. Well, they really don't. The media should show the full side of the story, which would include more voices, more brave voices like Ellis Brock. At least the CBC, at least one reporter in the CBC realizes it, but you really can't trust the CBC to provide a fair and balanced perspective on this issue. I mean, it's getting pretty bleak in Canada, folks. You look at the newspapers. They're in the bag, in the pockets of Justin Trudeau. He's paying them left, right, and center. If it's not his media bailout fund, it's this ridiculous global warming fund that they've put together. And then when it comes to, pushing forward for the sort of major infrastructure projects in the country, whether it is the new tech frontier mine up in Fort McMurray that the government is flip-flopping about whether or not they're going to allow it to be built, or this pipeline, which is kind of just creating this mass hysteria and these fringe protesters who are pretending to speak for entire communities that they really don't speak for, and then you have the CBC only telling one side of the story. It's pretty bleak out there. There are not a lot of trustworthy news sites, which is why, again, I thank you for tuning into this podcast. Thank you for supporting True North, and don't forget to check out all of our news up there at tnc.news. Thank you so much, and we will be back again next week. I'm Candice Malcolm, and this is The Candice Malcolm Show.